Hey, Cal Forever here. Wanted to do a video talking about karma. So, right now, with how the astrology is, there's a lot of people that are experiencing a lot of karma, whether it's good karma, bad karma, or there's actually a lot of people experiencing good and bad karma right now. And personally, what I've been experiencing is a lot of good karma. Like, this girl wants to help teach me permaculture, and so we're going up into the forest and collecting soil and planting this garden and collecting some pine sap, and it feels good to have a friend to do stuff with. But also at the same time, here's kind of the lesson: this could be an opportunity for me to create bad karma because I'm dedicated to my twin flame. And I definitely don't want my twin flame spending time with other guys. I would rather have her circulating her energy in my vortex and focusing on me, you know? So maybe this isn't something I should even do. But I'm just going to flow with it right now because I feel like the universe is kind of giving me this opportunity and presenting me this for a reason. So it's almost like a temptation in a way because I am like seeking a relationship, and this I feel like could be a potential relationship. But here's why it's good karma: like it's making me feel good that I'm attracting people. And my twin flame mentioned something about her attracting people too, and so it's like that made her feel good, so life gave her that experience. So, and also, my pine salve stuff is going pretty well. Feeling a lot of good energy, even some clearing. Um, and what else? I went and met this Ancient Aliens guy from the History Channel, that show on the History Channel. One of the main guys on it. I thought that was cool. That was like a good karmic experience. And here's another good example. Like one of my roommates, uh, there's this issue going on with one of our roommates, and he's having issues and wanting to move out. And so there's people at his AA group that offered to give him a place to stay if he needed a place to stay, and offered him, some transportation because he's been looking for some transportation. So that's good karma. So, and another one of my other roommates, he's experiencing a lot of good karma. He just met David Wilcox at this event. He went on a date with his twin flame at this event, pretty much, and so in a lot of good experiences. So it seems like most of the people in this house are experiencing good karma. So here's the bad karma. One of the roommates here is $1,200 in debt of rent. So it's like that's a huge lesson of karma, and it's out of unconditional love. So you don't really, maybe not looking at it as bad or good karma, but that's bad karma if you're not paying your rent. Like you're in debt to someone. That's bad karma with someone. And so you either pay that karma off and pay your rent, or you get kicked out, and it's like this lesson will repeat either in this life, or you'll be in life review and view it, and if you don't learn it, and then you'll review it in life review in the intermediate state in Bardo, and then it'll determine your next life. You either get it and understand it and see it and learn the lesson in life review, or life repeats it in your next life. And some people repeat lifetimes. Sometimes life needs to show us something that many times, till we get it, till we learn the lesson. Sometimes it takes a few times to get it perfect and to fully integrate it. And it's important not to beat yourself up and to have this self-hatred. And if there's a part of yourself that hates yourself for something that you did to another, or a mistake you made, that part of yourself needs love. So be your higher self and your soul and your body, and love that part of yourself that isn't being loved. Love both parts of yourself, that the part of yourself that made the mistake and the part of yourself that's beating that part of yourself up that made the mistake. Both parts need love. So right now is a really good time to be nurturing and loving to yourself. So I hope that I delivered this message pretty well, because I just recorded a video. And it was an awesome message, and it was put together really well. And there's this lizard over here, and I was like, oh, look at the lizard. The lizard's gone now. It was such a cool lizard. And then it ran up the ledge, and I ran over there with the phone to record it. And then it chased after this other little lizard to eat it. And I'm like, oh, that's a good example of bad karma. That's a great example of bad karma. And it's like, oh, maybe not, or it's like, that's an example of bad karma. The little lizard's experiencing bad karma, and that big lizard's creating bad karma for itself, because in its next lifetime, it's going to learn the lesson of getting eaten by another lizard, right? Life feeds on life. Life feeds on life. This is another thing I showed. Like, that's where I'm going to plant my garden. And it's like, if I planted a bunch of kale there, or some tomatoes, and then they got really ripe and juicy, and it's like, oh, time to harvest the tomatoes. To me, it's a celebration, but the tomatoes, it's the freaking Holocaust. But plants are really beautiful, because plants want you to eat the fruit. That's how there's a synergistic relationship between us and plants, where we plant the seeds of that fruit. So what would that be? Because that's not karma. That's a relationship. That's a balance. That's breaking free of the karmic cycle and having a synergistic relationship with nature. So it's about karma to teach us certain lessons, because that lizard needs to know what it's like to get eaten by another lizard, so that they stop eating each other and they evolve and change their ways. And that's just life's evolutionary process and learning certain things. It's the grand play of life. So, breaking free of the karmic cycle, it's about having this synergistic relationship with life, and also understanding the impermanence of when life needs to leave and change, Learning to be in this impermanence and allowing things to change, so that we can change and evolve our body without physically dying and our soul having to separate from the body. Isn't that the ultimate fruition of Guru Rinpoche's teachings of breaking the karmic cycle and achieving that body of pure light, rainbow body? So impermanence is important. So I hope I delivered this message well. Right now the energy feels really good. The karma for me personally feels really good too. I don't know, if any bad karma comes up in my life, it's like you take it like a man, you take it like a woman. You deal with it, you resolve it. Because my twin flame might be experiencing some bad karma right now, with how she treated me. But that's a good thing for her and for me, because then it would cause her to resolve this situation, and she would get a very loving partner, because me and her have such a synergistic radiance with each other. And I'm really looking forward to that coming to fruition. So right now, with how the astrology is and this Jupiter retrograde and karma coming up, it's just resolution. You know, it's all about relationships. With 2 full moons in Libra in a row, it's about balance, justice, and hopefully, and I pray that she finds justice in her situation with someone that treated her really badly around this time last year. You know, this is like an anniversary of a traumatic event that happened to her. You know, but that's kind of karma too, because how she how she was treating me was she was ignoring me. Okay, this is a huge lesson of karma. Here's a good understanding of bad karma and why it's good. So, like, you experience bad karma. She experienced bad karma because she ignored me and she just wrote me off and suppressed me and turned cold. And so she experienced a situation with this guy where she was sexually assaulted, I guess. And then the person ignored her and just treated her like shit and wrote her off. And pretty much, like, she learned how I felt through how another person was making her feel. And so it's like, okay, that's bad karma, but it's actually a good thing because it's just teaching her that harsh lesson. It's just teaching her that harsh lesson of like, okay, you suppressed and ignored this person, but also I have compassion for her because she didn't feel worthy. And the innocence of the ego, too. The ego is behaving exactly how it needs to behave. So why beat up the ego or beat up people that are in ego? They're so innocent. They're behaving exactly how they need to behave. And so, yeah. I think I've portrayed what I need to portray. Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. Peace.